Assalamualaikum ji. Welcome back to an episode of Kahe, Kazi. My guest today was the brilliant Maanu. Maanu is a singer, songwriter, producer, and one of my favorite pop artists in Pakistan. We speak about what drives his love for music. We also talk about how intentional he's been in the kind of language he's used, in the kind of beats he produces. We speak about how difficult it is to pursue your art, how talent can never outwork work, about the primacy of helping each other, of coming up together, about the kindness of strangers, and about understanding that money or financial liberty or financial agency is always a consequence and never the primary goal. Enjoy. 3, 2, 1. Maanu. How you doing, Maanu?
I'm good, bro. How are you?
Alhamdulillah. What's
Thank
going
you.
on?
Thank you for having me, man.
Dude, thank you for coming. You're only here for... This is your last day?
Yes.
Fuck.
Yeah. I landed on Friday at 6 p.m.
Yeah.
Went straight to a gig.
Yeah?
Yeah. Played the show. It was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Karachi is always amazing.
Yeah,
thank you
aajo,
guys.
reh jao.
Nahin, I love, that's like, I was saying this, I was telling Talal, I was like, I love Karachi. And then I corrected myself. I was like, I love coming to Karachi.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
you
and
know,
then
that's-
leaving.
No, like, not in the sense, like, abhi bhi mera obviously jaane ka dil to nahi cha raha, but it's like, matlab, I think jo mujhe ye short bursts milte hain of this city, like, whenever I come, it's always a good time. There's always a lot of love that I receive here.
Alhamdulillah.
And it's like, I really like the city, definitely.
But I think that's healthy, na? Ki you leave when you don't feel like leaving. Because if
then
you
you
leave,
wanna come back, yeah.
if you leave when you feel like leaving,
Yeah. True, man, true.
true things. How long were the gigs?
यार so मेरा generally जो set होता है वो like एक fixed set जो इस point पे आके like at this point in my career after like the like 10 songs that I released this year उसके बाद मेरी अब एक like fixed सी set list बन गई है which is different from what it was like a year ago and that's like 40 minutes long so the first night it was Talal as well and last night it was me so yeah back-to-back shows and Tahaji on both
Tahaji.
nights yeah.
Tahaji, okay. And what's the list? Where do you start?
What do you mean?
Like, what song do you start with? Usually?
I used to start with CGPA
Okay.
because so this is like a point where like I was playing shows long before any of my music was released. So mera bada ek na different sa process hua hai. Like I didn't really become like people didn't get to know me on the internet like shuru mein as much as they did by just seeing me live. So I was like khair we'll get to that later main tangent pe ja raha hu. But yeah, the song that I now start with is 5 a.m. because it just I think it's probably my favorite song that I've ever made. Like one of them, favorite song I've ever released, definitely. Maybe Risky ke saath ab tough competition hai.
Risky's really
But
good.
thank
Risky's
you, man.
really good.
But
mashallah.
5 a.m. ka ye hai ki just like, and weirdly enough, like whenever I write songs, to mujhe kuch ganon ka idea hota hai ki okay, the crowd is gonna love singing this, or not that the crowd is gonna love, but I hope that they will.
Yeah.
And there's some songs that I'm like, okay, like hip hop heads or these people will enjoy it, but this isn't like the song that I'd expect your crowd sab ga rahe hain na saath saath. But 5 a.m. just completely changed that for me because I didn't expect that from them. Like thankfully everyone knows all the words and even the difficult parts of the rap and everything. I was like,
Yes. Yes.
thank you.
You were going on a tangent. Go on that tangent.
यार tangent पे मैं ये इसी उस पे जा रहा था कि like basically for the longest time I didn't have any funds or any resources to release my music because इस point पे आके it's become very easy for me to make
Alhamdulillah.
music and release music.
yes.
Also just because I've learned how to do it over time.
Sure, yes.
Yeah.
You could do it yourself now, yeah?
Exactly, which is a huge like मतलब जिंदगी आसान हो जाती है उससे. But उस point पे because गाने release नहीं हुए हुए थे and I was still doing music, so I would be performing like every chance I get and I would play 40 minutes ka set of just original songs that people had never heard before. And that was a very different like वो वाली जो gigs थी and compared to जो अभी मैंने 2 gigs बजाए हैं, they're poles apart. Like for me as well and I'm sure for the audience as well because उस time पे it came from a place कि यार अच्छा मेरे पास 40 minutes हैं to impress the shit out of these people.
Yeah.
ठीक है,
Yes.
they can't even go and listen to my music.
No,
ठीक है,
this
तो
is
वो
it.
वाला भी this
Yeah.
is it, like इतनी अच्छी मैंने performance देनी है या मेरे गाने इतने अच्छे होने चाहिए कि like मतलब they just can't forget me वाला scene.
Elevator pitch, 40-minute elevator pitch.
Yeah, basically. So that was the case, and even like when I finally got to do LMM, Lahore Music Meet, which is like the biggest indie music festival in Pakistan. It is the best music festival in Pakistan, like
Alright.
hands down.
Alright.
And it was like because I've been a follower of the indie scene for like years now, before I even started making music or writing my own songs. So like it was मैं हमेशा हर साल जाता था. It was like the best 2 days of the year. Like me and my manager Sikki, like हम लोग बस wait कर रहे होते थे कि LMM आएगा और हम आ जाएंगे. Like so when I finally got to play the show, even then bro, I played a 40-minute set जिसमें से सिर्फ एक गाना release हुआ था. In front of like 800 people, bro.
Mashallah.
And it was just, I think that was the day that like एकदम से I think my career kind of properly started.
But that's
Because that was one of the shows where I was able to convince 600 people कि like ये कौन है.
हाँ ये कोई है.
That was just like I loved that phase of my career because it was just people being like ये कौन है. Like,
Beautiful, dude. But that's old school, though, right? That's how they used to do it before
Yeah,
the internet,
yeah,
before
yeah,
Instagram and all those things. That's how
I'm
they
not
should-
saying that Instagram didn't help though. Like,
Of course it does,
the
dude.
only like मेरा career उस दिन शुरू हुआ था जिस दिन मैंने और सिक्की ने बैठ के मेरा Instagram का page बनाया था. And I don't know if you've seen like my older posts and stuff. There, everything is still up there.
Yeah.
तो हम लोग शुरू में because we couldn't record music and we couldn't release it, what we used to do was कि हम लोग कैमरा रखते थे सामने और हम लोग 1 minute के ना versions करते थे मेरे गानों के जिसमें I would like, this is also a time where most of the music that I was making was very acoustic pop music. Like,
Okay.
I don't know if you've heard Tarane,
I have not.
but khair, that's a completely different side to my music, which is actually like where matlab that was the first kind of music that I started making.
But you
That's
still
mere
own that.
roots wo hain.
But you still own that.
Yeah, and I'm still gonna release all of that
Inshallah,
stuff
yes.
eventually,
Yes.
but not right now.
Okay.
Because abhi wo wala scene hai, like I really like the fact ke, again me going on a tangent, but I really like the fact ke right now whenever I release a song, people don't know what to expect.
They really
There's
don't,
been
dude.
so much like melancholic or Hiko has come out in the span of the same like 2-3 months, right? So it's like ye
ये boy क्या? बस
that's
किधर है?
वो जो था ना कि ये कौन है वो अब हो गया ये क्या है.
ये
Like,
हो क्या रहा है?
so that's what I really like about it, and I feel मेरा सारा music बहुत schizophrenic है इसी तरह से, and but at the same time now that things are finally like gaining popularity and momentum, मैं जो कुछ भी निकालूंगा ना, like people are gonna wanna hear more of that, like, and
Inshallah.
I'm scared कि अगर मैं अभी acoustic मैंने कोई गाना निकाल दिया तो people are just gonna be like यार यही करो, and मैंने नहीं है करना.
नहीं
वो वाला scene है.
But I suppose the commonality in all of your music is you. And I think that's a beautiful thing because you right now don't fit in a box. It's fair to call you a rapper, sure. Fair to also call you an R&B guy, sure. And now you've just told me it's also fair to call you proper pop.
Yeah,
So,
bro. I want to be known as not as a rapper, but as a pop artist.
As a pop
'Cause most of my music is like, the thing is, bro. इस वक्त like बाकी पूरी दुनिया में ना hip hop has become pop music. Like it's the #1 genre in the world right now.
Yes.
So because I also like मतलब although मैं बहुत ज़्यादा like local artists से I think probably ज़्यादा inspired हूँ compared to international artists, but most of the music that we've been consuming internationally has already been like that hip hop pop thing.
Yeah.
So I'm just making that kind of music, so then people are kind of confused, is he a rapper, is he this or that? I don't mind being called a rapper, like I love rapping and I love that, and I do consider myself as a hip hop artist as well. But वो यही है कि like I want to sound different from all the other hip hop artists. I'm not going hard and like, you know, like
Yeah.
वो वाला नहीं मैं कर रहा, मेरा
Yeah.
थोड़ा laid back और
Yeah.
वो वाला scene है कि
But I think it's also just the package, no? All of it just fits so well. So obviously you have the videos which are phenomenal. You have,
no thanks to me though.
no, but I mean, like, okay, but at the same time, you do have to greenlight that stuff.
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But obviously, big shout out to Zen Pirzada.
Zain Pirzada, AR from Black Parrot, Mosiki, these guys are just crazy.
Just monsters, just monsters, right?
Yeah.
And then the vocals are beautiful, and then the beats are amazing. So it is it's a combination. So it's not just say, okay, so I moved back to Pakistan first. मेरे बहन भाई जो हैं अभी recently आए हैं. So, they're still on that Drake, that weekend, all that stuff. And when I introduced them to you, obviously my favorite, the first time I was introduced to you, I didn't even know it, was
Come Through.
Come Through,
Yeah.
right? And I was like, check this out. And they're just like, well, just even the quality of it. Just the accent, just anything, it's unapologetic.
Wait,
It's,
did they like it or
do they loved it?
Okay.
Because but वो आप सोचे ना मेरे बहन कैसे होंगे तो just like, but it's just so comfortable. कि उससे पहले
I'm
अगर
glad, man. शुक्र है.
अबे जाहिर है पर उससे पहले हम इंग्लिश में अगर गाने बनाते थे, there was always this wannabe-ish tinge to it.
Yeah, there was no like आपकी अपनी identity
नहीं
पे
थी.
इतना focus.
But now, and it could just be that both you and Abdullah are also from that generation of people who are just like, यार हम यही हैं, नहीं impress करना, नहीं गोरों को impress करना, you know? Exactly.
Please.
Please.
वहीं रहें.
आप वही रहे. या party हो रही है. Okay, so one very interesting thing you said, we were talking about before, we were talking about creating music. And you said, I write all my own music.
Yeah.
And that's refreshing because a lot of people don't. I'm not going to take any names, but a lot of people don't.
But जो हमारी generation है, this new wave, like all of them write their own music. Yeah.
And that's another
Just
thing
putting that out there, just
Of course, no.
because that वही वाली बात है, that's like really impressive. Not in the sense कि it shouldn't be impressive, but it is in the sense because exactly with that whatever you're saying उसमें कि like आप लोगों से नहीं expect करते.
Unfortunately,
कि
no.
ये खुद लिखे
Exactly.
होंगे. But that should be like the number one like basic वो है
मैं
कि
अपना काम खुद करता हूँ.
आप अपने अगर गाने like it's okay to like have people write for you and to co-write. I'm not against that, but make original music like is my main goal. Yeah.
How do you approach it? Because like we've just mentioned, कि just the last 5 songs, the worlds apart. And मतलब it's heavy content in a way अगर कोई देखे. I've always thought that's quite philosophical. और हमारी एक बार क्लब हाउस पे भी बात होती है, like why are you saying this? I'm like मुझे लग रहा है जब. तो how do you approach, for instance, Risky? How do you start writing that song?
Bro, मेरे लिए ना songs barely ever start from a concept or anything. Okay? Like it's very like kind of just energy based. कि like I'll be like, for example, Risky की like beat थी मेरे पास. This producer Arham Sameed, Beacon Records, he's phenomenal. उसका ये पहला गाना था, but like dude, he's gonna blow up.
Yeah, inshallah.
But so I kind of just let that stuff speak to me. And like मतलब for me it's always very lyrics वगैरह बाद में आते हैं, bro.
Okay.
It's always very melody oriented. Like I'll listen to something, I'll just be like or I'll just be like I'll just do that. और वो जो मना ना उनमें words पे fit in करने होते हैं.
That's
It's
so
like a
interesting.
puzzle. It's actually a puzzle. Like so yeah, मेरे लिए थोड़ा उस तरह का process होता है.
That's so cool,
But it's
dude.
always like I mean with self-produced songs, so it's different now because you start from scratch. So Melancholic was a completely different process. But with most other things like Come Through का तो मतलब as soon like the thing is मुझे वो like the music part always speaks to me in the sense कि I can listen to a beat and immediately know whether I can write something on it or not. Like वो instantly अब मुझे पता चल जाता है कि ये मेरा scene है कि नहीं है.
ऐसे भी होता है कि नहीं.
Yeah. Like, yeah, obviously. Like, and वो कभी-कभार इस तरह भी होता है कि यार, okay, I'm too intimidated by this beat. Like, this happens a lot when I'm working with Talal. कि like वो production quality इतनी ज़्यादा होती है कि like वो एक काफ़ी pressure होता है आप पे कि like इसको maintain करना है. I still have to somehow make my space in this song and still shine on this catalog of just bangers which he has and stuff. So वो होता है, but like with Come Through, like it's just simple. Like मुझे वो beat, like as soon as I heard the chords, it was just something so. Like I think that's probably like my most serious song. Like just मैंने life talk.
That's what I'm saying. Life talks, dude. That's what I'm saying.
So I think it was also because I was aware of the fact that it's a song with Abdullah, and Abdullah doesn't do love songs generally.
No, he doesn't.
So I knew that this has to be something. And then Baki, it's not. That song is just about like me realizing my privilege and just being like, hey, listen, like, matlab, I know that I'm on the path, like, on which I'm supposed to be, but like, do I really even deserve to be here? In the sense that I am working hard and yeah, I'm doing good stuff, hopefully, like, matlab,
Okay,
but
all right.
like, वो सब कुछ तो हो रहा है, but I'm sure मेरे से काफ़ी ज़्यादा और भी ऐसे लोग होंगे जो कि इससे बेहतर काम भी कर रहे होंगे, but they didn't have the same privilege and the same freedom that I've had to do with it. So that's what the whole first verse is about. It's like me kind of questioning myself, कि like I've been trying to find a reason क्यों होता है सब ऐसे, like वो सब कुछ. And then the chorus is kind of me being like कि अच्छा bro, मान लिया privilege है. अब अगर है and you finally been given that chance, then you have a greater responsibility to make sure that you fucking explode.
Yes.
Because अगर इस सारे privilege के बावजूद भी you can't do it, then I'm sorry, but you suck. Like,
You're shit.
yeah.
But that's a beautiful thought.
So the
Really.
chorus is kind of giving that hope, ke come through, like, and I'm like being like, ke, come through, so I can show you why I deserve to be here. Like, that's basically the song.
That's beautiful, dude. That really is. And what's interesting is you've been on TPR. Ali Bhai shared it, and he didn't share it with me. He just shared it generally. He's like, you know, this is Ahmed Naqvi. Ali Bhai and Ahmed Naqvi, Karachi Khatmal. They shared it, and they were like, you know, there is still hope for Pakistani music. And I'm just like, yeah. What? what is this? You know, we have our Aima Begs and all those things, and they're good too. मुझे सब music
सब
अच्छी
fit
लगती
हैं
है,
bro,
सब
सब
fit
अपना
हैं,
काम
सब
कर रहे हैं,
आला है,
like,
right?
हाँ.
But then when I click on it, there's two guys singing back and forth in English and in Urdu like we would have a conversation, and I'm just like, oh fuck yeah. And then the existentialism,
वो
right?
सब कुछ active effort है though, like which you were saying earlier as well, कि like your siblings relating to this and how there's this disconnect.
There is.
Like these are all of the things that motivated me to write my own songs, was to tell a story that people could relate to.
Yeah.
And to break that disconnect. Like मैंने तो बहुत actively, like in terms of all of the language and the slang that I use, the whole concept of Yen and Yen City is कि एक लाहौर का एक slang है जो कि वहाँ के लोग बोलते हैं. हम लोग तो like स्कूल में बोलते हैं, like, you know,
What does
like,
it mean? Yen?
it's basically जो कराची में बचोदी होता है, bro.
All right,
It's
okay.
more or less the same thing. Yen is like chaos. It's like बहुत traffic थी यार, Yen में फंसा हुआ था मैं. Or it can also be like यार मैं बहुत बोर हो रहा हूँ, आज कोई Yen डालते हैं. You know, so it's like that double meaning. It's that excitement and that chaos, which is a definitive like characteristic of what Lahore is.
That's so powerful,
एक
right?
तो
Yeah.
वो like in terms of like जो उसकी content wise, and but also just the slang, the whole purpose of building like what I'm now trying to do in my future plans is trying to build a whole brand around that.
Inshallah.
Around, not around me, but around Yen, okay? Like, because they're like only my fans will be able to directly relate to me, but that's a word that could transcend just my fan base.
Beautiful
So-
chaos.
Yeah, it's like matlab, not even beautiful, not everything has to be beautiful, like it just is what it is, like, and you have to accept it for what it is. Like Lahore hai Yen City, like, and the shukr hai कि a lot of like most Lahoris that I've met have actually agreed to that. कि, हाँ, bro, I actually resonated with
Imagine
that.
someone disagreeing, नहीं?
Like गानों में जो मैंने गुलबर्ग तो ठोकर तो फेज 8 तो रिंग रोड तो ये सब कुछ जो मैं कहता हूँ is just because I know कि अगर मैं ये कोई इस तरह का गाना सुनूं जिसमें कोई इस तरह की बात करे, I'd be like fuck yeah bro, मैं कल वहीं था. You know, there's
Yes.
builds that relatability. There's that, and that also translates in the code switching from the English to Urdu. Like that's why immediately people can resonate to it more. क्योंकि वरना यहाँ पे like Urdu का जो especially like film music रहा है and everything, all of that has been very very वो ना classical music से inspired है सारा.
थोड़ा condescending even.
It's beautiful for what it
Yeah.
is, and all of this music is a direct product of all of the music that I'm making is a direct product of all of the music
Sure.
that I've heard because of my parents growing up.
Beautiful, beautiful. But still, there is an exclusivity there that isn't here.
Yeah.
Here, you're like, again, come through. Yes, all, everyone. We're taking all of
But
you.
वो we're not ना. अगर हम अंग्रेजी में बात करें तो how are we taking
But you're
everyone
code
into
switching. आप
account?
उर्दू में भी तो बात कर रहे हो.
कर रहा हूँ, लेकिन कितने को लोग हैं हमारे मुल्क में जो कि समझ पाएंगे इस चीज़ को compared to a song जो कि purely in Urdu हो.
यहाँ पे वो
That's why
खालिस उर्दू होती है ना.
That's what I was trying to say basically, कि जो हमारा traditionally music का scene रहा है like पाकिस्तानी music का, उसमें वो बहुत भारी अल्फाज होने होते हैं ना उसमें,
जी।
जैसे शुगुफ्ता और शुस्ता उर्दू होनी होती है, लाइक वो वाला सीन है. वरना आई जस्ट वांट लाइक इंग्लिश में ना यू कैन जस्ट बी लाइक कि यार पता नहीं, आई वाज इन बेड, put my blanket on type, you know, and you can get away with that.
Yes.
उर्दू में आप ये नहीं कहते मैं
कंबल
बिस्तर पे
चढ़ाई.
था रज़ाई उठाई, like unless आप rap कर रहे
Unless
हो.
you're Faris. Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Unless
Sorry,
you're
sorry,
the
wrong.
goat, like yeah, only he can get away with saying anything. Like,
Alfredo Fettuccine, are you fucking kidding
I
me,
love
dude?
him. He's the best.
Sando. I was just
Sando,
like,
full wazibi.
God damn it.
But yeah, so
Genius.
वही वाला scene है. I forgot what we were talking
What were we talking
about.
about? वो जो आपकी प्योर उर्दू म्यूजिक होती है. I was saying you are more inclusive, your music, and you were like, no, actually, क्योंकि code and all those things, technically उसको ज़्यादा inclusive होना चाहिए था. And I suppose that's where the great success or the great power of the youngsters comes in.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Because they use that colloquial code, and I mean, is it any wonder? मतलब 10 साल लगे उनको.
और पता चलता है ब्रो कराची के हो, लाइक यू नो एक्सेंट में पता चलता है. उसी तरह मैं चाहता हूँ कि लाइक मैं या जो हम कुछ बॉयज़ लाइक लाहौर का सीन बनाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं,
इंशाल्लाह बन जाएगा.
मी, सलोर, रोजियो, मेनली मुज्जू, ऑल ऑफ अस, लाइक हम लोगों का भी यही है कि द म्यूज़िक लाइक इट, हमारे एक्सेंट, हमारी स्लैंग, all of that translates, and all of that is obviously very inspired by stunners as well, just in the sense कि like, I mean it's inspired by hip hop in general, because that's what hip hop preaches for you to like, it's all about identity.
Yes.
It's all about who you are.
And speaking
like,
your truth.
And the thing is like, matlab, it's the most relatable thing in the world. Like if अगर आप अपनी आइडेंटिटी किसी के सामने बस रख देते हो ना, पीपल विल ऑटोमेटिकली ग्रेविटेट टुवर्ड्स इट, बिकॉज लाइक मेरे जैसे इट्स नॉट लाइक मेरी ज़िंदगी को बहुत डिफरेंट रही है फ्रॉम लाइक यू नो द पीपल अराउंड मी एंड स्टफ. वी कैन ऑल रिलेट टू दैट. सो या,
Speaking of relatability, we were speaking about your parents, and you were like, hands down, the most supportive.
I love you guys.
Alhamdulillah. How did you approach it though? Because I did say that you also gave them a proof of concept. It wasn't like they were like, he has no business making music and we're still going to support him. You did give them a reason to trust you.
Yeah, but they also had the guts to give me the space to give them a reason. Like, matlab, so मैं बचपन से like my dad is like वो NCA में पढ़ाते थे. He's an artist.
Oh wow.
He's retired now.
MashaAllah.
So क्या कहते हैं वो घर पे, and वो हमेशा से यही कहते हैं कि मैं जब बड़ा हो रहा था बचपन में तो पाकिस्तान में कोई म्यूज़िक स्कूल नहीं था, वैसे अभी भी नहीं है,
नहीं.
लेकिन कोई म्यूज़िक स्कूल नहीं था. अगर होता तो मैं आज म्यूजिशियन होता, मैं आर्टिस्ट ना होता. दैट्स व्हाट ही सेज.
Wow.
सो लाइक वो तबला भी बजाते हैं. ही इज़ लाइक द मोस्ट फिनोमिनल सिंगर एवर. उनकी लाइक परफेक्टली ऑन की नहीं होते लोग,
वो
बस
जो
pitch
serious वाले
perfect.
होते हैं.
और वो I've just grown up listening to him sing. It's been beautiful. Like,
Wow,
thank
that's
you for
nice.
that.
Alhamdulillah. that's
But
wonderful.
क्या कहते हैं, इतना खुश हो रहे होंगे ना.
It's
It's like,
he plays it down. He's like,
no, my mom's gonna show this to him and be like, ये देखो. Like, so like वो, and then Amma be like, she's also like just huge fans of music. So grew up listening to a lot of music when I was 6, 7. तो 7, 8 I think. तो तब मुझे for like a very brief period of time. No, actually first they got me a piano teacher.
okay.
So I learned very, very basic piano. Like I didn't even get to a point where I could play with both hands. Like एक ही हाथ से मुझे बस chords अभी तक याद हैं वो, लेकिन I understood music theory. And then उन लोगों ने मुझे classical singing का उस्ताद रखवा दिए थे. It's like 8.
Okay.
For a brief time. तो उस टाइम पे मुझे एकदम से जो यहाँ की गायकी है उसकी भी थोड़ी बहुत मौसीकी की समझ आनी शुरू हो गई कि हमारी theory क्या है. And our theory is just much more interesting because you can do anything, you know, like compared to Western musical theory is very like fixed patterns and scales और ये और वो, like जो हमारी यहाँ की उसमें scales वगैरह भी क्या क्या. खैर I don't want to get into that. I can't explain it.
Right,
like,
cool.
बहुत technical वो है.
Yeah.
But yeah, so उसकी वजह से I think at an early age अगर आपको बहुत ज़्यादा like exposure मिल जाए ना to music and all of that, तो आप में वो एक चीज़ naturally आ जाती है बस like.
Well, that and also they inculcated in you a resistance to the fear of failing. Because
Yeah.
they let you try so many
Yeah.
things. Like, because, for instance, I had a piano teacher when I was 8 years old as well. Right? Nothing came of it because
Awesome.
उसके साथ साथ एक चीज़ थी कि भाई, you always have to look good. हारना नहीं, गलती नहीं करना, मर दो, गलती नहीं
नहीं
करना.
है मेरे साथ. They've just been like, that's what I'm saying, bro. They're the best parents ever. Like they've just been like, they're my best friends. वो वाला
That's
scene है.
awesome, dude.
So
Mashallah se.
like, and my mom too is like my biggest supporter and my biggest rock in that sense. Like
Yeah.
she's my hero.
Alhamdulillah.
तो खैर coming back to the point was कि like, so उस point पे भी मैंने बहुत ज़्यादा music का एक वो था, exposure था. And then I started playing the guitar. Zen भी ज़्यादा taught me how to play the guitar.
I don't know if there's a better teacher.
He's a big brother.
Yeah.
उस टाइम पे obviously वो इतना अच्छा नहीं बजाता था
चलो,
जितना हम बजाते.
चलो.
I remember. But क्या कहते हैं, Zen used to beat the shit out of me, bro.
Physically?
हाँ bro, हम लोग wrestling करते थे. Just
I-
wrestling was just like हम WWE के fans थे.
हाँ.
Wrestling was just him picking me up and just और वो मुझे full move मारते हुए ना, he would just be like scoop slam. Just be like कि मैं भी खड़ा हो जाता था कि like हाँ और मारो मुझे. But नहीं all in a very very like friendly and control, not in a problematic way.
Not in a
at all.
problematic
Like,
way at all.
he's an amazing big brother.
But also, he probably can't do that shit to you now, though. Right?
Yeah,
He's
he
tiny
knows
now.
that. But khair, so and then like I was playing the guitar, doing covers, and मेरा उस time पे like when I was in school OA levels में, तो तब मैं जरा me and my friend Mujju, who's in HSN with me, and like हम लोग covers करते थे. We were huge Ed Sheeran fans, and like हमने भी एक loop pedal ले लिया था, which is this device that he uses to play live gigs.
Okay.
जिस पे you can just loop, like live loop कर सकते हो आप चीज़ें. So you can play chords, वो loop हो जाएगा. Then you can add drums by just slapping your guitar, वो भी loop हो जाएगा. And so we're trying to replicate that process and everything. And I think इस point पे भी like if you ask my friends from like इस time पे जो मेरे best friends थे, उन लोगों का भी था कि like उनको भी पता था कि यार ये करना चाहता है music, but it wasn't like something like मैंने करना है जो अब मेरा जिस तरह की drive and everything है.
Right.
So I was just doing medleys and covers, and then मेरे A levels आने वाले थे. Like I think मेरा अगले दिन like exam था, एक like mock था or something. And क्या कहते हैं, I just picked up my guitar and started playing these chords और एक मजे की riff सी बन गई. And I was like, yeah, I think I actually saw a video of Abdullah Qureshi singing Hamesha by EP.
That's a good song.
It's a good song,
wanna
and
cover
weirdly enough, please forgive me Zulfi bhai if you hear this, but I had not heard that song us waqt tak. So when I heard it, I thought कि like, dude, ये क्या fit scene है, like मतलब, and then ekdam se I was just like, dude, I'm gonna write a song, and I wrote my first song that night, and it was terrible, but like.
But you wrote it?
That's like, yeah, so I got to my third or fourth song, and I realized कि यार, this is something that I could listen to. Again, these are terrible songs, but it was growth for that period of time.
Exactly.
And like मेरे एक दो दोस्तों को भी fit लगने शुरू हो गए, family भी I mean like support करने के लिए, just be like fit है. And then once I did my A levels, so I was initially gonna go to med school.
Jeez, dude.
Yeah, man. So med school का थोड़ा late होता है ना admission process वगैरह, तो मिडवे वहाँ जाके मैंने डिसाइड कर लिया कि ब्रो मैंने नहीं करनी है मेडिसिन. मैंने क्योंकि म्यूजिक की आई स्टार्टेड राइटिंग सॉन्ग्स, तो आई वाज लाइक अगर मैं म्यूजिक भी करना चाहता हूँ तो मैं कैसे ये दोनों चीज़ें करूँगा. आई डिडंट नो कि देयर वर पीपल लाइक हसन रहीम.
You didn't know, did you? That there were doctors.
Yeah. So क्या कहते हैं, but again I think that was one of the best decisions I ever took, and I decided to take a gap year.
Okay.
So I took a gap year, and all I did, like Mujju also somehow उसने भी gap year ले लिया for other reasons, and then both of us just started writing songs crazy. Like I think उस एक साल में हमने कुछ 100-150 गाने तो लिखे थे, and like that's a point where they actually started to become really good songs.
I
And
mean,
abhi
after
bhi-
100, yeah.
Yeah, and like I have those songs abhi bhi, and I know that they could do really well because वो बड़े ना filmy और उस तरह के गाने हैं, like
प्यार?
cheesy and
Yeah.
cliched and all of those feels type song. Like Melancholic is very inspired by my older work.
Yeah.
Like उस तरह का scene. और वो भी बड़ी खालिस उर्दू और उस तरह के उसमें.
Manu, so there's so much love and heartbreak in your music.
Yeah.
प्यार श्यार हुआ है मतलब क्या? Yeah,
Yeah, obviously.
अच्छा, obviously.
I mean, प्यार हुआ है, दिल भी टूटा है, but like मतलब that's a
Yeah.
part of life.
It is,
Like,
dude.
yeah.
It is, and one of the best mechanisms to release that energy is making banger tunes. Dude.
Yeah.
Making the best music.
Oh, definitely, and a lot of but the thing is, my music now like is never about situations. It's more about feelings.
Abstract,
So,
yeah.
so then when you're talking about feelings now, you can add fiction and you can make it more wo. So not every love song like Melancholy ke baad, so many people were just asking me, "Okay, dude, who broke your heart?"
You
And
good?
I was like, dude, I'm happy in my relationship. Like,
वो
please,
मसला नहीं
like,
है.
it's just that your feelings exist and like that's okay. Like,
Oh, yeah,
matlab, you
yeah.
know, like it's okay for me to talk about that. It's also okay for me to make music, like, or make love songs about feelings in situations that I directly may not be in, but I can still
Speak to
write
them.
about. It's
Yeah.
still storytelling, right?
Yes.
With the hip hop stuff, obviously, I'm not gonna say stuff that's actually not happening in my life because that's just cheating. Hip hop में like
Cheating.
जो भी आप बोल रहे हो it has to be a fact, वरना you're just playing. Like,
Sure.
you know.
Sure.
But with love songs and stuff, you can like, matlab, it can still be a genuine song about genuine feelings that I have felt. But the situation, like, it doesn't have to reflect. Like, also, bro, ये भी होता है like, matlab, risky. अभी निकला है like 1.5 हफ्ता पहले मैंने साल पहले का लिखा हुआ बना हुआ पढ़ा हुआ है वो like मतलब come through जब मैंने come through लिखा था risky मैंने उसके like I think a week before that like I wrote risky.
Dude, what are the songs that you write in that period? It must have been a golden period.
I wrote risky, come through, melancholic, do pal,
Whatever you were smoking.
coffee bean.
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah, last summer was amazing.
Whatever you
Yeah.
were on, I want some of that.
और क्या था ये चीजें थी. So yeah.
Phenomenal, dude.
हाँ.
Mashallah, mashallah. That's beautiful. So, again, you engage with abstract feelings when you begin to write. What do you, because somehow, and again, to the great, no compliment is enough for the people who are making your videos, but your videos resonate that as well. They're always kind of abstract, right? What do you look for in your own videos? Like, yet you just feel it, like it's intuitive.
Relatability.
Relatability?
Yeah. Like, I want someone to watch the video and be like, okay, I either see myself in one of these situations or I want to be here.
Oh,
Like,
I want to
you
be
know?
here. Yeah.
So, like, and again, इसमें मेरा कोई कमाल नहीं है, dude. Like, I handle the music stuff and then I can, like, literally, like, I think अभी तक जो सब मेरी video जो कि सबसे ज़्यादा, like, closely knit with the actual content of what I'm speaking has been Melancholic's video.
Yeah.
Just me, you can actually feel the melancholy, like, in the air in the
Oh,
video,
yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
Again, I just sent AR the song and he really liked it, and the rest is him. So
That's a good group
videos
of
ke
people.
yaar mein but again, bro, it took me a while to like AR again is someone like he handles this alternative music page called Mausiki.
Okay.
And Mausiki has been covering the indie music scene since before the indie music scene became cool to support. Like,
Sure.
तो अभी एकदम से everyone's like,
Yeah, now
okay,
everyone's like, yeah.
finally. But तो AR को मैं बहुत देर से follow कर रहा हूँ, and it was always like a dream to be on the magazine and this and that. Like छोटी छोटी सी इस तरह की ना, like मैंने अपने लिए milestones हमेशा रखे हुए होते हैं, like to keep motivating myself.
Yeah.
And so like it took a while for me to convince him, or not really convince him, but to like prove myself to all of these people, whether it's video people like AR or it's like producer maestros like Talal and ye wo, you know, you have to like prove yourself. Like me and Talal, we met at one of his like, lambi kahani hai main si. Do you want to talk
Of
about?
course, dude.
He came to Lums when I was in my first year, I think. He and Faris performed there. And I was in the front row. Like, Faris, I've been, like, a fan of since his first song. Like, I think he's the...
What was the first song?
Awam.
Awam.
Yeah.
Jawab De was one of his first
Jawab De was his third song.
It's the third song.
Awam tha, Muskura tha, फिर Jawab De tha, फिर Clap आया था for the BBC live sessions Talal के साथ. Yeah. वो था, and फिर Molotov और introduction. नजर और वो एक अली सेठी वाला था जो मुझे नहीं अच्छा लगता गाना.
मुझे याद क्यों नहीं आ रहा है वो वाला?
Wasta. Yeah. Khair, Faris I think is the greatest of all time, and I'm not talking about Pakistan, I'm talking about like the whole subcontinent, like India, Bangladesh, Pakistan. There's
Heavy.
no one who can touch him.
Heavy
And I
praise.
think most of like the great Indian rappers also admit that they're all in some way or another, like they know that they can't touch that man.
Really?
I think so, because like I think, bro, even like pata hai, baki hip hop is a very competitive sport. So everyone, even though हमारे like खैर हमारा तो indie scene है ना अभी, but जो hip hop scene है उसमें everyone's very competitive and stuff, but no one fucks with Faris because everyone just respects him so much because he's just so obviously insane. उसकी
Exactly.
लिखाई इतनी अच्छी है, उसकी
Yeah.
एक्सप्रेशन इतना अच्छा है कि लाइक खैर फारिस फैन रैंट हो गई है.
Cool.
But yeah, so they were at Lums for a gig and I was in the front row and Faris saw that I knew all the lyrics. So एक point में even in मुस्कुरा उसने मुझे mic भी पकड़ा दिया था and
Yeah.
I rapped the like one verse for him and stuff. It was an amazing moment. I met Talal, he was really sweet. But at that point मैंने अभी भी गाने लिखने शुरू किए थे and stuff. I didn't feel comfortable. Like I told Talal कि यार I also make music ये वो. Nothing came of it. Then a year later, like Talal and Faris were playing another gig at True Brew. True Brew used to be this event space in Lahore.
Used to be.
Used to be. Jamal Rahman used to run it.
Huh.
Shout out Jamal. Like he's also been like really instrumental in like creating Lahore's music scene.
But it's gone now?
He's moved to Karachi and he's doing film now. So True Brew is gone, but the legacy still remains. Like क्या कहते हैं? So I saw them there and that night we properly chilled with Talal. फारिस के साथ पिज्जा हट भी गए थे. I remember we felt like the coolest kids ever. We were like, हम फारिस के साथ पिज्जा हट गए.
I can't imagine him eating normal food. I don't know him. He's always angry.
He's a really
isn't he?
funny guy, man, but really sweet.
Yeah.
Khair, and then yeah, and that's the day that I played Talal some my music, and he was like, bro, अच्छा है, and we'll work on something. Then I sent him some things, and he was like, हाँ ये वो, and then like a year later or something, he was like, dude, I'm coming to Lahore for a gig and I want you to open for me. I've been following you all this time and I'm really proud of the progress you've made.
Wow, dude.
And कि like तुम्हारा काम, like I'm really glad that he gave me that space as well. ना उसने शुरू में नहीं ज़्यादा lift करा दी. That was probably good for me. It like if you have like the best producer in the country, like मतलब आपके शुरू में आपको इतनी lift करा दे, आपको तो लगेगा bro मैं boss हूँ.
हाँ,
And
फिर
you
you
won't
won't, हाँ.
push yourself hard enough to like had to actively push myself to make my music good enough for these people to want to work with me.
And that's a beautiful thing,
Yeah,
right?
and then he gave me that chance and then we just became really, really good friends and he's like a big brother to me. I love that guy.
Mashallah,
Like, and
sir.
he's also like he is one of those people who will try and push every artist as much as possible. Like उसको ना अभी recently उसने एक पोस्ट डाली थी इंस्टाग्राम पे जिसमें वो बस अपने इस साल की सारी हिट्स की ना लाइक छोटी छोटी क्लिप्स थी एंड उस पर किसी ने कमेंट किया था व्हिच आई थिंक इज द परफेक्ट नेम और लाइक थिंग टू कॉल हिम. ही सेड ही इज अ किंग मेकर.
Yeah.
Like he
Yeah.
establishes other artists. Like अपनी तो उसके है, like everyone respects him, and now I think he's finally getting the recognition that he's deserved for years.
It's been overdue, yeah.
Yeah, but like he's the like matlab I think Hassan can also attest to it कि like what Pesa did for him and like generally like for me it's very different. हम लोग इतना वो नहीं सोचते मैं और तलाल के वो इससे हमें फ़ायदा कितना होगा ये वो. We just love making music and we end up making nice music together. But like he's really, really I think instrumental in the new wave right now. Like he's
But also I suppose because of his seniority, he must have educated you people in the fact कि हाँ ठीक है, you guys are brilliant artists, but you also can't let yourself starve. So पैसा is important,
yeah.
you know. And speak to me about that. How do you see that playing out now, where you guys can legitimately make a go of this and actually financially be taken care of? How does that work now?
Feels awesome, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just fantastic.
I mean, throughout यही डर था because बचपन से यही सुनते आते आप म्यूज़िक का कोई स्कोप नहीं है, कोई ये नहीं है वो नहीं है, पाकिस्तान is such a volatile country, ये वो
सब सही बात है.
जो सही बातें हैं कि इधर और प्रोफेशंस की आपको कोई मतलब सिक्योरिटी नहीं होती तो म्यूज़िक तो कहाँ गया ना. But so it is very gutsy if you want to decide to do this. And I would still suggest everyone could still get a degree, because at the same time this is a volatile country. कल को फिर से concerts ban हो गए, ये हो गया, वो हो गया, क्या करोगे?
कल लॉकडाउन लग रहा है.
लॉकडाउन का नहीं इतना जितना like ban जब हो जाते हैं ना for security reasons के अब like NOCs ही नहीं मिल रहे like लोगों को. Like that was the case for like 6-7 years जब terrorism यहाँ पे like crazy
ज़्यादा था.
तो but I just want to say this as like as something that people can take as motivation as well कि bro इतना मुश्किल नहीं है. Like if I can do it.
No, dude,
Yeah.
that doesn't apply.
Yeah, dude, it does.
There's talent that's
It does.
required.
No, like obviously there's talent required, but talent का इतना scene नहीं है जितना hard work का है, bro. Like, मतलब I've seen really naturally gifted singers who can just वो आपको नजर आता है कि ये ना खुदा ने इसको talent दिया हुआ है, इसने कोई ज़्यादा काम नहीं किया इस पे, and they're not doing shit with it, bro. And then I know people who, like, for example, like Salor is a fantastic rapper, but he's tone deaf. He can't hear, like, he creates the most amazing melodies ever, but he's tone deaf in the sense ke like he can tell when something is off key, but he can't sing it on key ever. He's just tone deaf hote hain log. But that guy has just worked so hard on it ke everyone I tell is just like, wow, we could have never imagined.
Goosebumps, yeah, straight up.
So I think hard work definitely वो ज़रा ज़्यादा important है than just talent. But कहने का मकसद ये है कि हर चीज़ बहुत मुश्किल होती है, सारे careers बहुत मुश्किल हैं. Don't let that stop you. अगर आप like मुश्किल से भागते हो तो फिर तो आप वैसे ही कुछ नहीं कर सकते.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right. So you're talking about obviously being on tour and how that's been a dream.
Tour.
It's on tour, right? It's on tour. अब बड़े tour भी हो जाएंगे इंशाल्लाह. Next stop सक्खर में हो जाना है. But क्यों नहीं?
I guess tour yes, महीना पहले हुंजा में था और अब कराची में हूँ I guess, और अभी like I have a gig tomorrow in Lahore.
इंशाल्लाह.
So
tour है.
I guess.
Tour है. What
cool feel करने के लिए कह सकते हैं.
भाई cool फील करना बहुत लाजमी है. What's the bigger goals? What more, like, would you like to be on Coke Studio? Because Takatak was like widely
Willow.
recognized now, you know, and that was, to me, I was like, because again, metal is so fringe. Metal is more fringe, I think, than even rap or hip.
Rap is really pop now, bro.
Yeah.
वो वाला दौर चला गया कि वो rap underground genre.
But metal is still that.
Metal is still that, and it will continue to be that.
Right. So, what, do you have some designs, some machinations, Coke Studio maybe?
यार हाँ, anything that comes my way, dude. Like,
Interesting.
I love what I'm doing, and I wanna do as much as I can. I wanna achieve my goals as fast as I can. Even though it gets very toxic for me, like
Does
personally, because like I always like, even if I achieve something that, like when the PSL thing happened, it was like, dude, मैं बचपन में cricketer बनना चाहता था. And I wasn't bad actually.
All right.
But
Bowling, batting?
दोनों.
Yeah.
But I was really tall उस वक्त भी. Like immediately when I got a bit tall, तो फिर bowling का ज़रा scene था on. But खैर, I was crazy about cricket, like crazy. Like मुझे याद है किसी के जनाजे पे भी मैं cricket का like वो pads shads पहन के like that's basically my parents, right?
Yeah.
They're not gonna like.
No. All right. Beautiful, dude. That's.
But क्या कहते हैं? So when the PSL thing happened, dude, I was just blown away. I was like, ये कैसे हो रहा है, bro? And I'm getting paid for this. Shout out Natasha Nurani, dude. Like, single-handedly इस औरत ने पूरी industry को alive रखा है. Single-handedly नहीं, her and Zara Piracha and like a lot of people, but these people are like, Zara के बारे में we will speak later. She's been, I think, the most instrumental person in my career. But like, shout out Natasha for always looking out for
Big love,
artists.
Natasha.
And, yeah,
Big
dude,
love.
like
Yeah.
she's amazing.
Yeah.
And even as a musician, dude, she's just.
Yeah? She's there?
I'm a huge fan. Like, उसके fans का क्या? Nashtas.
What the shit?
Yeah, her
What
fans are called Nashtas.
What are your fans called?
I don't know. I don't think I have a fandom yet, but that's something that I want.
That's one of the goals. Coke
Yeah.
Studio के side में.
Coke Studio भी मतलब bro जो भी आ गया opportunity, like anything that helps push me and I can still remain true to who I am, like I will do it. Like it's not like Coke Studio has always been the dream, but like yeah, obviously
one of
like,
those things, yeah.
It'd be one of those things. But my final goal is obviously international or us level.
Wow.
Like yeah, I mean
But the kind of music you're making, I for one can definitely see scope in Toronto because that's where I've been. Some scope in Kuala Lumpur even because
nice.
there's little
They
communities.
say to har jagah hai, bro.
Huh? And they're gonna resonate with this. I'm telling you.
And yeah, I also think कि, like अब वो वाला भी एक दौर है ना where like you know how a lot of like reggaeton and Hispanic music has gotten really popular and उसमें भी आधे आधे गाने होते हैं जिसमें आपको नहीं समझ आ रही होती कि क्या हो रहा है but आप फिर भी वो दूसरी जुबान में भी गा रहे होते
You're just
हो.
vibing, dude.
So why
yeah.
can't that be the case with Urdu as well?
I don't know. You tell me.
So
Why
that's the
not?
goal. Like yeah,
Inshallah. But you said it becomes toxic for you.
yeah.
Why?
I'm really hard on myself. Like I'll achieve something and then in a couple of weeks I'll be like ये कुछ भी नहीं है bro.
ये कुछ भी shit है.
मुझे बहुत severe किस्म का imposter syndrome है. Like
Does that keep you grounded? You think
Yeah.
that's a positive thing,
yeah,
right?
but it also keeps me a bit too grounded. It doesn't
थोड़ा सा.
sometimes let me just take in the moment and realize कि bro साल पहले क्या हो रहा था और अब क्या हो रहा है. You know, it's like
Right.
this past year and a half has been quite.
It's been meteoric, if
Yeah.
you want to say it. Alhamdulillah. But that hostile humility is still a thing. It's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Hostile humility. You were going to talk about Zara.
Zara.
Yeah.
Yeah, हाँ, so Zara is like, so when I was a huge fan of the indie scene, like, and I had started making music, like one of my favorite bands, my favorite band at that time was Sikandar Ka Mandir. I don't know if you heard them.
एक दो.
देखा ये वो indie वाला है ना,
Yeah,
like एक different era of this was actual, you know, indie. हम लोग तो pop music बना रहे हैं ना, like indie in terms of the sound. वैसे तो indie just means independent.
Sure,
like,
yeah.
So, Sikandar Ka Mandir में Zara थी. So Zara is again a person who tries to push as many artists as possible and stuff like that.
That's music to my ears, right? What you were saying with Talal, what you're saying even with Fariz. Fariz went out, got food with you guys. He must have some understanding of what he means to you guys.
Yeah,
as
nah,
kids.
and then not even Faris ka doesn't end there, bro. And Faris knows that I'm a huge fan, like, matlab, because we've met a couple of times. And then recently, when I released Melancholic and Khona Tha, so he reached out to me and he was like, dude, big ups, like, I'm really proud of you.
Dude, that's
and
phenomenal.
like, Melancholic was great, Khona Tha was great, you're doing great work, ye wo.
And then Zara as well, because Manu, the thing is, if we're not with each other, all of us, तो फिर हमारे वैसे ही लग गए हैं. Do you know what I mean? We're
जो
already
बात है,
done.
bro, जो बात है.
So, sorry, Sikandar Ka Mandir and Zara.
Yeah, so Zara ke saath then I don't exactly even remember how, like, I think we just randomly reached out to each other and we were like, yeah, can I come to the studio? Ye wo, she was in Lahore us waqt. And then we just started working and then we just became really good friends, like, and it was so, matlab, it's just a different energy, like, with her because it's like we'll just be having a good time और हम गाने और लोगों के सुन रहे होंगे और बीच में गाना record कर लेंगे फिर से बातें कर लेंगे फिर ये कर लेंगे, like, it's always been वो.
Super casual.
Yeah, so Zara has been instrumental in the sense that, bro, almost all of NCT she recorded. So CGPA, Khwab.
Dude, Khwab is, I think, my favorite song.
Thanks,
I'm sorry.
dude.
Yeah.
CGPA, Khwab, Mere Dil Se, she also co-produced. Ek Khata, she also co-produced. Pak Se Zameen was recorded at Zara's. And Outro, she also co-produced. So she's like the executive producer of the album, right? Then this is a point where I was, jo main pehle nahi keh raha tha ki I didn't have the resources and I didn't have this and that. Zara literally was just like, aajo main sab kar dungi. Muft mein, like. She didn't have to do that shit.
No, dude. No,
she
of
didn't
course
have to
not.
do that shit at all. And this is like, me and Zara, shout out, you're the best, bro. But like, इस तरह से भी उसने काम किया हुआ है कि like मेरी एकदम से मुझे किसी ब्रांड से डेडलाइन आई कि like कल ये चीज़ गाना एक सबमिट करना है and shit. And me and Zara have like spent her whole birthday just working on that song and stuff like that. So she's really, really like, matlab, she saw something in me and then I also helped her write her song Bekhudi, which is an amazing song. She's insane, dude. She's really good.
But that kind of selflessness, that kind of kindness from strangers.
I think it's selflessness nahi hai, lekin it's like she comes from a generation of musicians who had no one to look up to. ठीक है?
Okay.
And I come from a generation where we had these people like
Mashallah.
Zara, Natasha, Zain, Talal, Faris, and all of these people to look up to. So she knew कि इस वक्त अगर ये मेरी वो हेल्प कर दे जो कि हो सकता है उसकी उस वक्त किसी ने कर दी होती तो
Yeah.
different scene hota. And I also think she also came from a place of just dude, she really liked the music. Like I
Okay,
remember
yeah.
like we would just like I would like songs like Mogambo, like मतलब मैं आके उसके पास पहले demos record करता and we would just sit there laughing at the lyrics and this and that, and it was just she has so many embarrassing vocal takes of mine जिसमें मैंने random as fuck चीजें बोली हुई हैं बस. But yeah, she's been like I think really important.
किसी दिन ये forgotten mixtapes भी आएंगी बाहर.
Yeah.
That'll be good.
Yeah.
But so you're saying it's not so much selflessness, it's more a sense of responsibility. कि उनके पास नहीं था and she wants to give it to you guys?
हाँ, I guess एक हद तक है भी selflessness, but not at the cost of themselves ना. Like
of course.
selfless
No,
थोड़ा
हाँ.
वो भी imply करता है
हाँ.
कि आप किसी की इतनी help करो कि आप अपने आप को भूल
खुद ही को
जाओ.
मिटा दो,
But
हाँ.
वो वाला scene नहीं. But
So you've recorded with Hassan and Tahaji, and they've all been some of my favorite songs. Khona Tha is on repeat these days.
Thank
for
you,
reasons. Do Pal, phenomenal always, right? Who do you want to record with that you haven't yet?
Stunners.
Yeah. What kind of music? Anything with them? Yeah, something a little street.
I think they're the type of and like they've also been like really sweet. जब मैंने outro release किया था, which was the last song from my album, that song I think has been the most slept on song that I've ever released because I personally think it's the most strongest lyrically and flow wise song that like it's just really different from the rest of my discography, and I really feel that it didn't get the love that it deserved. Love भी नहीं यार, it didn't get उसकी reach ही नहीं बनी ना. Like that was a point where मेरे इतने subscribers भी नहीं थे, ये भी नहीं होता, तो लोगों तक पहुंचा ही नहीं. अभी तो सबसे बड़ा मसला मेरे टाइप के लोगों का है. हसन एक different place में है where when he is making or releasing music, it's reaching everyone and they get to decide whether they like it or they don't like
what's
it.
interesting about Hassan also is that he's been working on himself on his YouTube, all of that stuff for 8 years now. इतना अरसा हो गया उसको.
यार वो भी लेकिन व्लॉग वगैरह करता था तब, और तब उसकी फॉलोइंग नहीं थी. Like that's why I respect him a lot, dude, because he's the anomaly.
Yeah. He really
everyone else, Shamoon to Stunners, to everyone has been doing this shit really long time, and that guy just like उसको 2-3 साल हुए हैं of properly doing music, and he just took over. That's why I have immense respect for him, because he's the anomaly. Like that shit won't apply to all of us, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
No.
Like मतलब एक तो we finally have a heartthrob जिसको like मतलब everyone loves, but we finally have someone who is actually making good music and as a heartthrob at the same time.
Right.
So it kind of it makes everyone look good, right?
Yeah.
एक तो वो, and then like he's also someone यार जो कि बहुत grounded है. Like उसको he's almost like आप उससे मिलो ना, उसको नहीं पता कि वो कितना famous है. He's kind of like that. Like,
really?
नहीं ये नहीं कि वो क्या कर रहा है. Like he's very good at what he does, but he doesn't fully realize कि वो इस वक्त, and that's in a really good way, you know.
That's a beautiful thing, yeah.
But yeah.
He's not cognizant of his meteoric rise. He's just like, बस मैं अपना काम कर रहा हूँ.
I'm sure he is, but he doesn't show it. Like I've been following Hassan since before he blew up. Like Khona Tha Abhi we made much before he blew up. Blew up though he recently did with like Juna and Paisa. Even though Aise Kaise was doing really well.
Yeah.
And it's an amazing song. But like I remember हमने उसकी पहली लाहौर में gig करवाई थी. That was the first gig that he ever played. And this was like a year ago. And like मतलब तब हम लोग लेके आए थे कि like हसन को सुनो आके, you know, and now he's kind of like blown up, which is amazing. Like, you know, it's inspiring and it's like you're kind of awestruck कि dude ये कैसे हो रहा है. Like मैंने आँखों के सामने देखा है, you know, like the whole blow up. Like,
but do you feel that that's also because he also occupies a niche? ये heartthrob वाली जो आप बात कर रहे हो, and also this थोड़ा burger crowd of Karachi, ये भी तो एक niche है ना?
यार पता नहीं, again I don't think उसने वो actively उस तरह से किया है.
No, of course not. No.
I think he's just remaining true to himself.
Whatever
like,
he is, he is. Yeah.
But outro ka we were talking about.
Yes.
So when I released that, तो 15 minutes of his release, I remember मेरे अभी तक 250 plays आए थे. ये वो दिन थे जब इतने से views आते थे. Like, and एकदम से मुझे बस notification आई है, Tala Yunus commented on your photo of fire emojis. It's just like, bro, ये कोई fake account हो गया. और मैंने जाके देखा और वेरीफाइड. मैंने कहा ये भी फेक होगा. मैंने खोला and I was like, लिखा हुआ आ रहा है like he follows you. I was like, when did he start following me? What the hell is going on? So at this point, Joke was already following me. Joke is their producer.
Sure, yeah.
And we had spoken once, like I had reached out and be like, dude, you guys are great. Here's some of my music if we ever want to work. And we had been in contact here when he had also said, like, dude, I like what you're doing here.
Beautiful.
So I was like,
Yeah.
okay, he's like
Yeah.
one of the Godfather producers who sends me, like. So, ये like I saw कि उसका comment आया है and then 5 minutes later like मुझे YouTube से notification आती है कि young stunners commented on your video
Oh no, man.
and they had just like उनके जो official YouTube channel से they had just written one line from the song कि हम सोच के बढ़ेंगे आगे or like एक heart or something इस तरह का कुछ बनाया होता है. I was
Yeah.
like, dude, ये लोग सुन रहे हैं मुझे and they're vibing with this like and उस वक्त तक I was like so Yen City से I didn't blow up as much. I feel कि like मतलब उसमें कुछ गाने थे that deserved more and didn't get it and stuff like that. But things like these kind of made it all worth it. कि dude आखिरी गाना जिस दिन release हुआ उसी दिन like some of the people that I look up to most were like, good job, bro.
That's everything, no?
And then like yeah, so they're definitely people that I really really want to work with them because I'm a huge fan and they're the kind of people इनके साथ I don't want to make one song like जो Hassan और मेरा scene है we have like 5 songs and
Yeah.
so we make that music and then we kind of choose कि अब क्या करना है like अब कौन सा निकालें ये क्या करें कुछ लोगों के साथ आपका ये scene होता है like कि एक गाना बना लिया और fit है and then there's some people like okay this is going to be an ongoing thing
Wait,
we're going to make a lot of music
Yeah,
together.
well, आप जो है जिन लोगों के साथ हिसाब नहीं रखते हो I think that's the most beautiful kind of relationship, ना आप हिसाब ना रखो इन लोगों के साथ not with Hassan or with youngsters you don't want वही वाली बात है ना at this point it's on them Allah करेगा in the next year you'll probably catapult yourself to that kind of level as well but abhi it's on them like they could make a song with you and
But it should be out of
merit.
mutual respect, you
Yes,
know.
yes
That's the thing. I reached out to Tala Yunus that day as well, and I was like, dude, I'd love to make music. And he was like, soon, bro, inshallah. And I was like, bro, ho gaya na, in the sense that now I'm not going to continuously just be like, bro,
Bother
gana
him and
de de.
stuff.
Because if I'm really honest, I don't want to do it for the views and for, because anything they touch gets viral
Yeah.
on trending.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it for that. I honestly want to do it because I'm a huge fan of the music that they make, and I honestly think we can make cool things together. But yeah.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
I would hope so. Dude, this has been phenomenal.
Yeah, man.
Thank you for stopping by. Really, thank you for making time. We were speaking before as well, ke, this has been a short trip. But just keep doing you, dude. I think it's inspirational. I think you're way too young to be so hard on yourself. But at the same time, I hope you continue because otherwise, maybe you won't be this humble. Maybe you won't be this grounded.
I don't know. I don't really think about it that
Just
much.
no metacognition.
I'm
None
just
at all.
trying to, like, I'm really lucky I get to do what I love.
Alhamdulillah.
And I'm doing that. And I'm at a point where I'm also really lucky that I'm really enjoying the kind of music that I'm making. I'm talking about, like, the stuff that I've recently made and that's still yet to be released.
Acha.
And, yeah. So, I'm excited about that. At RBAB, we're going to launch our merch. And so stuff like that is
Right?
also, yeah.
That's awesome, dude. So, okay. One final thought from you, though. There's this जो ये बहुत high profile case हुआ है अल्लाह रहम करे in Islamabad and all those things.
Yeah, man.
Right? Some dark, evil shit like that. And again, you occupy a space or you exist in a medium where everything has to do with feeling.
Yeah.
We've just spoken at length about what your creative process is, right? It's all about feeling. How do you continue to create, to make, in spite of it, or do you do it because of it? Because that kind of evil shit exists in this country as well,
Yeah.
and like in our circles.
Yeah.
हर जगह ही होता है लेकिन स्पेशली इन आवर सर्कल्स इस चीज़ को नहीं कॉल आउट किया जाता है दिस काइंड ऑफ टॉक्सिक मैस्कुलिनिटी और व्हाट हैव यू हाउ डज वन सच एज योरसेल्फ कंटिन्यू टू क्रिएट बिकॉज your psychic space is everything. You're not an accountant. You can't you can't punch in and punch out. So how do you manage that?
Yeah, I don't know, like, matlab, that's I mean, what happened was horrible, man.
course.
It's heart-wrenching, and it's the saddest part is that this is just one story we heard about, and this is probably happening right now to so many people, and it's just really, really horrible.
Allah Raham
And
kare.
like, matlab, all men are to blame because we like you said, we kind of like let this shit happen. Like, matlab. But khair, I mean, I don't think any of my music has anything to
No.
like, matlab, us tarah se. Um, I do think that all of these things are extremely important to talk about, and I do feel that I have a platform like that can somehow, thoda bahut influence to hai that I can use for a good cause, and I do plan on doing that.
Inshallah.
Definitely. And I honestly feel really guilty talking about this stuff because there's so much more that I could also be doing and I don't. So I am really sorry about that. But I think music-wise, it doesn't really like, matlab, especially like if you're talking about this specific incident or like is tarah ka wo, obviously it's not really matlab. But if you're talking about generally ke headspace and all
That's
of
what
the
I'm saying. Yeah,
negativity
yeah.
around us and everything, bro, like I grew up at a time जब स्कूल में like class 5-6 में और bombs फट रहे हैं और मेरे शीशे टूट रहे हैं class के और ये हो रहा है और वो हो रहा है and like मतलब हम थोड़े ना like, and I'm not talking about like gendered violence and all of that, like that stuff is not like, that's not what I'm talking about right now. But I'm talking about generally like difficult times and stuff like that. तो हम ना बड़े थोड़े desensitized से भी हो गए हैं like I
Right.
mean I remember like हर रोज you would find out, oh अच्छा 60 लोग क्वेटा में मर गए हैं, अच्छा 80 लोग लाहौर में मर गए हैं, ये हो गया वो हो गया, and the shit is all happening around you and you're a kid, right? So you don't even know how to process this
No.
fully.
No.
So I think उस sense में like I mean there's always going to be evil in the world and we should try and make an active effort, especially for things like gendered violence, and this is stuff that we could at least like matlab, protesting and all is extremely important, but what's more important is actually making a physical difference in your circles and doing all of that. But क्या कहते हैं, I think कि apart from that, because that stuff is not excusable in any way, but this stuff, इसमें ये है कि there's a lot of bad stuff happening in the world, like whether it's Palestine or all of this, and yeah, every person who has any sort of influence, the bigger the influence, the more responsibility they have to somehow try and make, like, that's why I really, really appreciate Irfan Janejo for always, like, you know, speaking out every
Right.
opportunity he
Yeah,
gets and
yeah.
stuff. And although he faces a lot of backlash for
He
it and
does.
stuff, but I think that's really important because, like, हम सब hopefully inshallah जो हमारी journey है, जो हमारे goals हैं, अगर हम वहाँ तक पहुँच जाते हैं तो हमारे पास होगा काफ़ी influence and we should be using that to make some sort of a difference. But my music, if we're just talking about my music and my artistic expression, it's very micro level compared to like macro, and that's why I don't talk about politics too much, and it's more about individual like identity and stuff that you on an individual basis can relate to. And also like if you're from Lahore and I'm referencing places from Lahore, yeah, Sweet 2 mein jis tarah Hassan is talking about Sadr and Badr and all of that, so that's where you collectively also relate to it. वो वाली एक चीज़ है. But although I can't really say whether or not I am going to touch political concepts or not in the future, because I honestly don't know. I might just do that, like if I'm feeling it.
Yeah.
And if I feel that I can do a good job of expressing it. But I think my music is generally like most of it I wanted to give out this positive energy.
You want to
like,
pick people up.
हाँ, pick
Yeah.
people up and feel good, because वो सब कुछ evil वगैरह चल रहा है, but you also need to balance that with good energy.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not talking about balancing stuff like gendered violence.
No,
कि
yeah,
अच्छा
of
वो
course,
हो रहा है
yeah.
तो आप ये कर लो तो easy scene है. That's not the case. That stuff is like unexcusable.
No,
definitely.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
But with other stuff and other negativity, like I think मतलब मेरे लिए personally music dictates how I'm feeling. The song that I'll be listening to will dictate how I'm feeling, which is generally why I don't listen to a lot of sad music, which is why I don't listen to melancholic that much.
That's kind
Like,
of strange.
it just kind of makes me sad, and I'm like, I don't want to feel this way. Like 5 a.m. lagao, hiko lagao, you know,
Yeah.
like wo wala scene.
Yeah. No,
So,
yeah, you're absolutely right, dude. But at the same time, what's interesting is I had a filmmaker. He's also quite young, Shehzad Malik. Um,
Shazad show.
Shehzad Show.
Okay.
I had him on yesterday, I think, or the day before, and I was asking him the same thing. I'm like, well, what's your creative process, right? Like, do you decide concepts or whatever, what have you? And he's like, no, same thing. He's like, pehle, I take an abstract, whatever it is, a feeling or whatever, then I listen to music. And then the music dictates everything. And music is powerful in that sense where it literally gives direction to thought,
Yeah.
gives direction to life.
Yeah.
Do you want to collaborate with regional musicians?
Yeah, definitely, man. But also in a space where it makes sense and it's not just this for the sake of
Zabardasti nahi ho.
like fusion ke bas bahane pe nahi, it has to make sense. But you'll be seeing a lot of that stuff in the Shahi Killers stuff. Are you familiar with Shahi Killers? So basically there's this artist from Lahore, Rizzy Rosio,
Yeah, yeah.
who you need to check out. He's phenomenal.
Check out Rosio. I'll check out Rosio.
Yeah, and so me and Rizzy, we became friends like a year ago, and we started making music together, and matlab, we've made a lot of songs together. So we started this project, which is this rap duo called Shahi Killers.
Shahi Killers.
Yeah.
Shahi means royal, right?
Yeah. So
Royal.
Shahi Killa hai na, wo Lahore Fort wala.
Ah.
So it's like Shahi Killers, like the K wala killers.
Right.
So we that's like एक वो इस तरह का project है जो ongoing है.
Mm-hmm.
So we have made the first album. Like we're gonna put it out aista aista.
Album meaning what? Like,
Volume 1. Like it's an 7, 8 songs.
wow, dude.
So
Mashallah.
and that's a completely different energy and like musically as well. And so like musically it's very local inspired, like local instruments and like local classical जो हमारी Eastern classical music theory है South Asian उससे काफ़ी inspired है. So the whole purpose of that project is to basically build, like I'm with my own stuff, I'm trying to create this pop identity for Lahore.
Sure.
And with Shahi Killers, we want to create the hip hop identity. And like, matlab, like you said, just stunners are like, extremely relatable because of their language and stuff. And we might not be as accessible because of our incorporation of English and all of that stuff. Because at the same time, we don't want to just completely be rapping in Urdu because then it's not true to us.
Yeah, that's not you, yes.
So, but obviously it is more directed towards Urdu because I personally feel कि like मैंने भी रोजियो को बहुत ज़्यादा push किया है and he's also at a point where he's like really it's worked out for him कि आपको अपनी language में करना बहुत ज़रूरी है. Because अगर आप hip hop कर रहे हो which is a genre about identity और आप अपनी ज़ुबान नहीं बोल रहे तो आप शुरू से you're like doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
who are you, like
Right.
yeah if you're not
So Rosio speaks Urdu as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, but he initially was just rapping in English. And eventually, like, matlab, he kind of found his way and he's like, now if you listen to him or his recent songs, you won't be able to tell कि ये, like, English में सिर्फ करता था साल पहले because he's just grown that quickly.
Mashallah.
So, with regards to जो मैं कह रहा था कि जो वो relatability language और उसकी वजह से नहीं है, we're trying to make up for that by incorporating as many desi instruments and all of that into it as possible.
That's cool, dude.
So that, like, there's just something different. Like, when you hear a desi instrument, it just hits you differently. Like,
Hits us,
like
yeah,
Hiko ka Ada scene is just the Shenai.
Okay, yeah,
There's
sure.
just instant relatability. Like, you will feel it more.
Yeah.
So it's very Ostranki, and it's a creative outlet for me to like let my hip hop thing flow because I want to keep the Maanu stuff as pop as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, still a balance with some hip hop as well, but the hip hop that you'll hear from me in Shahi Killers is much more like like there's a couple of songs that you'll hear and you'll be like, damn, okay, I didn't know, okay, ye scene
ये भी हो सकता है.
But not in the sense that you'll be blown away, but you'll just be
I
like,
might be blown away. You don't
interesting,
know.
like ye bhi hai scene,
But you don't know, I might be.
So Shahi Killers is something jo ke I really hope that we released the first song and then we kind of decided, why don't we kind of build our own followings a bit, and ताकि फिर जब शाही किलर्स के गाने आने शुरू हुए तो people are like, oh मानू रोजियो का गाना आ रहा है type, you know, because when we released the first song people didn't really okay, oh मानू रोजियो का गाना आ रहा है.
पर
They were
हो
like, ये कौन है?
हो जाएगा. ये शाही कौन से शाही?
Shahi killers.
Shahi, but dude, it'll happen. It'll happen. I think you have a good head on your shoulders. I think you have good people around you. Alhamdulillah. I think it'll happen. I think you just have to stay the course and not lose your mind.
I hope so, man. But I'm just like really grateful that I get to do this. Like, 'cause I'm having a lot of fun.
Alhamdulillah.
Like,
And that's beautiful to hear. It really is, because you don't want to be a tortured artist. That shit is overrated.
yeah, I think it also comes from a mentality of like a lot of people for the longest time were just like, scene nahi hai, nahi ban raha, music nahi, koi sunta nahi hai, audience ko nahi pata, ye nahi pata, wo nahi hota, koi structure nahi hai, koi infrastructure nahi hai.
Nahi hai.
We were kind of just like, shut up.
That's it, right? So I think 6 or 7 years older than you. And that's it.
That's it.
That's the difference, right? Because you saw...
Gen Z was kind of just like, अच्छा,
यार,
okay.
फिर अब क्या करें? जल जाए, मर जाए
क्या
सब.
करें? यही करते रहें,
मर
like,
जाए.
यही करते रहें बस.
Do you want us to just go? And I think that's everything, though, dude. I think that unapologeticness is everything. It really... And there's outliers in my generation like Zen Pirzada, sure, right? But think about it. What you resonate with him about is exactly all of this stuff, where he's just like, तो फिर अब क्या करूं? खत्म हो जाऊं?
पैसे भी तो कमाने हैं, like कुछ करना है यार, मतलब I know मुश्किल है, but करना पड़ता है, like अगर आपकी मजबूरी है. And especially like for me, I'm lucky in the sense कि मुझे very early on I realized कि bro मुझे इसके अलावा कुछ नहीं आता करना. Like I can't do shit. Like in the sense कि, or I can probably, if my mom hears this, she'll be like, नहीं ऐसी कोई बात नहीं and stuff. But in the sense कि I can't do it with the same enthusiasm.
Yeah,
I'm not as good as those things. Like मतलब in lums, I would just like शुरू में I would feel bad about not getting इतने अच्छे grades because it's really competitive and there's so many people there who are so much smarter than me.
Sure.
And then I just realized कि bro मैं इसलिए भी because मुझे नहीं करना ये, like जब मेरे पास है एक और चीज़ that मेरे पास एक तो again come through वाला scene कि मेरे पास वो freedom है to do it as well.
Exactly, yes.
So then I need to like somehow figure out a way where I can actually make a career out of this. And like abhi be like the most annoying thing that like I graduated 2 months ago.
In what degree?
Political science.
All right.
So so many people have come up to me and be like, अच्छा अब क्या plan है? अब क्या कह रहे हो?
Yeah.
यही कह रहा हूँ bro.
I'm on
like,
tour and shit.
I'm not on tour.
You will be, inshallah.
Like मतलब it's just कि dude मैं तो नहीं complain कर रहा कि यार मेरे पास नहीं है पैसे, ये नहीं है या वो नहीं, या मैं फंसा हूँ ज़िंदगी में, तो आपको क्यों लग रहा है कि मैं मुझे कुछ करने की ज़रूरत है? In the sense कि मैं कर रहा हूँ, अगर आपको नज़र नहीं आ रहा तो काम से काम रख भाई.
नहीं तो पीछे हट जा.
It's so much fun now कि like when I perform this song at this point कि I just have to say पीछे हट जाओ.
And everyone just goes, yes.
They can't cancel me for this shit, or they can't be like, oh आपने यहाँ की क्या गाली
मैंने नहीं
दी?
कहा, वो उन्होंने गाली दी है. But dude, Mano, I think again, phenomenal.
Thank
right?
you, dude.
Beautiful. We'll check out. We have to check out Rosio.
Yes. Sir.
Outro check out करना है सबने.
Salor को
Salor.
भी please. Salor just released a song called Chameleon Flows, which is phenomenal.
Sounds phenomenal.
It is.
Shahi Killers.
Shahi Killers, yes, please.
Merch coming through soon.
Yes, sir.
What's it going to be called? No, we're not at
Yen.
liberty. Just Yen.
Yeah, I'm trying to build a brand around it. And
Yeah.
So it's like this is just the first drop.
The kind of shirt you're wearing, that kind of stuff?
No, not this kind of stuff. It's a lot of them are just Yen t-shirts.
Okay, cool.
And kuch tie-dye cheezein hain.
Okay.
Tie-dye is my identity.
Yes.
I don't want to give too much.
No,
away,
don't.
yeah.
It's fine. That'll be phenomenal. We'd love to have you back.
I'd love to come, dude.
Inshallah. And that's it, dude. That's it.
Awesome.
I think just fucking keep doing you, man. I don't know what else to say to you. I just...
और option भी नहीं है, क्या करूँ मैं, bro?
नहीं यार, क्या मतलब है? क्यों option चाहिए? You know what? Okay. I'll say this to you. I'm glad नहीं है option.
I guess.
You know, because I think हम दोनों की generations are one of the problems that we face is opportunity cost.
Yeah.
जब Netflix पे you go on Netflix. Have you ever done that? I think everyone's done that, but they just browse for an hour because they don't know what to watch.
Yeah.
It's not that they don't know what to watch. It's that whatever they pick, everything else that they're not picking is so heavy.
Yeah.
right? It's so much more like, I could watch.
Trade-offs बढ़ गए हैं
Yeah,
हमारे।
right? So it's fucking phenomenal that you're like, मैं कुछ और नहीं कर सकता हूँ. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this 100%.
But again, that also comes from a place of immense privilege, bro. कि I'm in a situation where I can be like, यार हाँ मैं करूँगा. मेरे पे वो नहीं है pressure कि like ये नहीं करना, ये like.
हाँ bro, लेकिन अब मान लिया ना privilege है, लेकिन अब करना भी तो नहीं. You're speaking through your privilege.
Trying to make it even.
Yes. Dude, I shit you not. How many times have I sung your parts of that song to you? It's beautiful.
I've just seen it every day on your story, and like you still listens to
Yeah,
this.
dude, I still do. क्या होगा क्या सोचोगे कि मैं हूँ क्यों इस जगह. I'm just like all the fucking time because that's all of our stories.
We have another song, me and Abdullah.
What?
Yeah.
Dude, you can.
What? It's like I don't know if he's gonna get angry at me saying this or not, like just because I'm speaking about it before he is, but it's the complete polar opposite of Come Through.
What does that even mean?
I can't say more, but it's like
हाँ ठीक है. I understand.
सुनोगे ना, you'll be like, okay.
How was it working with him? Because he's also blowing up right now.
Yeah. He's been blowing up for a really long time.
He's young too.
Yeah, he's younger than me, dude. He's a genius. Like, he's a production wizard. Like, and he's obviously like he's great in every way. But working with him was interesting. Like, again, it came from a place where I was more like speaking from a place of being a fan, and like I've been following your shit. और मेरा तब इतना scene नहीं था. Like, मतलब I had a lot of music that was all set to release, but I hadn't released it yet. And me and Abdullah had played a show together on my birthday in Rubru. And kya kehte hain, that day we kind of spoke and we were like, hey, dude, let's do a song. It was like, I have an album coming out soon, let's do it. I was like, on it. And then like he sent me the beat and he was like, dude, I made this specifically for you. And then I heard it and I was like, dude, do din de.
Do din, that's all you want?
Yeah, matlab. And then fortunately, like he loved it. And then when he sent me back his vocals, like I was like, dude, I made Abdullah Siddiqui sing in Urdu.
Yeah. Just hang up. Yes. But that's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. It's also powerful that you people, Tahaji was speaking about Dopal in that vein as well. You're not beholden to anyone. No, okay, so there's people like Talal who are obviously brilliant, but they're also on your side. Technically, they are you guys. Yeah. You guys are all, there's no labels. There's no like, अब आप लोग सब एक recording studio में आए.
Bro, ये हम लोगों ने क्योंकि किया है. Like, this is something that like, I can't say who he was, but this guy who's one of like the biggest producers and like older peeps में ने, जो I can't name him. But he was saying like मैंने जिंदगी में पहली दफा देखा है, and he's been making music for the past 30 years and like in the game.
Yeah.
He's like मैंने पहली दफा देखा है कि 5 लोग एक साथ में शूर हो रहे हैं. Like किक नहीं होता, and it's just because like I feel like all of us like made an active effort कि dude reaching out to each other and be like कि यार मैं तेरा fan हूँ, and being like हम collaborate सिर्फ इसलिए कर रहे हैं because I really fuck with your music and like this is really cool. Like, matlab, tu bhi wahi kar raha hai jo main kar raha hu and shit. Like, first time me and Hassan spoke to each other, we were like, yeah, we're like, matlab. Again, it came from a completely fucking random place where me and Sikki were just speaking one day, and Aise Kaise obviously released out, and we were listening to it a lot, and we were like, yaar, this boy ka scene hai, iske saath gana karte hain. And that day, like, Hassan ne story dali huई थी of like, ख्वाब उसने share किया, and he was like, what a song. I was like, dude, this is crazy. Like,
this is divine, dude.
Yeah.
At this point, it's divine.
Now, though, like, we're really good friends, and like, up to whenever we're making music, it's a completely different process. Like, Sweet 2 भी, like, हम पस्सू में थे for that gig, and हम लोगों ने एक रात में बैठ के like गिटार भी हमारे पास था वहाँ पे, माइक भी हमारे पास था वहाँ पे, बैठ के हमने एक रात में पूरा गाना बनाया, रिकॉर्ड किया.
Wait, no, what the fuck? What?
Yeah, dude.
In a hotel room somewhere?
Yeah, in Passu. I even Sabatin in Passu. Me, Hassan, and TQ.
Yeah, but
काम जारी है हमारी बकरी.
I thought you guys were taking liberty, creative liberty. You were actually.
No. There was actually Sabatin in Passu.
Dude, that's beautiful,
and we made
man.
the whole song. The next day we shot the video. The next day we performed it at the gig. It was crazy.
That's ridiculous, man. Mashallah.
And that was like a completely just like 3 friends hanging out and being like, yaar, aaj kuch banana hai. And then everything just happens on its own. Like, I'm not saying that's what always happens. Like,
No.
me and Rosio sometimes can sit down and like make a song usi waqt, and sometimes you can just sit there for days and not be able to do anything at all.
That's fine, dude. But you have the capital.
Yeah.
Whereas before, even 10 साल पहले, आप जैसे लोगों के पास capital नहीं था because you were too young, too
Yeah.
inexperienced, what have you.
Yeah.
There were these studios that were required and there's
Yeah,
these mics.
exactly like that. I think has a lot like changed the game for me as well. Like, okay, when I started producing, and Melancholic was like one of the first things I ever produced. Like, it was the first proper like जो मैंने एक beat बनाई थी और उसके ऊपर कुछ लिखा था. Like the first song I ever did that on. And I think that's been really like liberating for me in the sense that like I love collaborating. That's why I do it so much. Like I try and work with every artist possible, and cause I just want to make as much music as possible. And I only make music with the artists I like, obviously. But there's just something different about when the song is just yours. Like
Sure.
Melancholic hits different, Risky hits different, 5 a.m. hits different, He Could hits different, just because like it's just me, right?
It's your stuff,
and I'm not
yeah.
speaking that from like a place of like narcissism or anything. It's just that you feel like I'm so grateful and so happy that my most successful song is a song that I produced myself, I made myself. Melancholic, like this is only Adil Tahir mixed it and mastered it. उसके अलावा किसी और का कोई लेना देना नहीं था उस गाने के
You
साथ. So
think-
it's a nice feeling, like, you know, not being like कि oh मेरा जो सबसे successful गाना है वो is because it's a featuring a big
On the back
artist,
of
you
someone
know?
else, yeah.
Yeah. So
You think Risky will dethrone Melancholic?
I
think it
really
will.
hope so, man.
You want to be doing that? You want to
yeah,
be... Yeah.
because then you're not growing. Like,
Fair. I think Risky will, though. I think it's just everything, man.
yeah, statistics wise, वैसे it was, but now Melancholic is.
Still.
I mean, मैंने वो just looking at the stats and shit. It's kind of
Yeah.
Risky शुरू में बहुत चढ़ा है, and then it's kind of like slowly. But at the same time, हर गाने की अपनी pace होती है. Like, I didn't even remember this, but अभी Risky जब release हुआ तो मुझे ये पता चला कि Melancholic on the first day got like 1,500 plays.
And this Risky got how many?
Risky got like 8,000.
Alhamdulillah.
So Melancholic, but now has 210,000 in like 5-6 months. That's
Alright.
the most successful song.
Yeah.
So उसका ये scene था कि after the first 10 days, it kind of got like people started sharing it more or less. Somehow for the first 10 days it didn't do that well, and then suddenly it did.
Sure.
So I'm still kind of hoping कि like
हो
Risky.
जाएगा, हो जाएगा.
I'm waiting for that one song. I don't know which song I'm talking about, but that one song जिसकी वजह से ये जो मेरे पुराने गाने हैं ना, they also, you know, like get a bit of a boost. Because I do feel कि अभी भी वो वाला थोड़ा सा मसला है कि
Yeah.
my music is not, मतलब it's not reaching as many people as it could.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel if it would, then maybe I would have more listeners and stuff. But again, it's not speaking from a place of like complaining or anything, because
Dude,
because abhi bhi, like I have a
no.
really organic, and like coming to Karachi is always really amazing, because like Lahore में होता हूँ मैं gig बजाता हूँ तो like I kind of expect कि, you know, like I've been doing this so long here, like a lot of people know me there. And obviously with enthusiasm भी होता है. There's some Lahore gigs that have just been like that. आप उस gig पे आ जाओ तो आपको पता चल जाएगा ये N-City क्यों है, or like why this is a Yen show and stuff like that.
MashaAllah.
But like Karachi का ये कि I just feel like maybe I don't expect it or something, but every time I come there's just so much love, and like I feel maybe वो भी होता है, आपको पता हो ना ये बंदा कहीं दूर से आया है, आप उसको जरा ज़्यादा वो भी देते हो and stuff.
No, I don't know if it's that, dude, but I think you could do that in Hyderabad. I'm pretty sure. I think you're doubting yourself
Not
too
yet.
much.
Maybe someday, yeah. I would, like, if I don't get there in another 2-3 years, I would be very disappointed, because like मेरा goal है to like make my music, like songwriting wise, make it ऐसा that it's still me but it's accessible to everyone.
Do I think 2-3 महीनों में, inshallah, देखना आप. Because if I go, it would kill me.
But हैदराबाद में नहीं सुन सकते ना ये लोग.
क्यों नहीं सुन सकते, bro?
हाँ bro, होंगे कुछ 150-200 लोग जो सुन रहे होंगे
You
ना.
only need 100, dude. You know, 200 भी बहुत ज़्यादा हो गए. You need 100, will charge premium prices, हो जाएगा, set हो जाएगा.
Nah, I ain't settling for that, bro.
No, you want thousands?
I want कि मेरा म्यूजिक एक दिन उस पॉइंट पे पहुंचे कि वो आप हफीज सेंटर लाहौर में है ना, वो उस दिन आप कहीं कराची में, आई डोंट नो हफीज सेंटर का इक्विवेलेंट क्या है, या आप वहाँ पे जाके यूएसबीज नहीं भरा रहे होते लोग म्यूजिक की, लाइक ट्रक ड्राइवर्स एंड ऑल ऑफ दीज पीपल जो यूएसबीज में डाल के म्यूजिक सुनते, सबसे ज़्यादा उस तरह कंज्यूम होता है म्यूजिक अभी भी, और नहीं मेरे गाने वहाँ तक पहुँचे हैं.
पहुँच जाएंगे bro, इंशाल्लाह. पहुँच जाएंगे. You're right there, dude. You're right there.
Not
Manu,
really.
this has been fucking amazing.
Same here,
Right?
man. Thank you for having me.
Dude, please. Thank you for making the effort,
नहीं,
honestly.
नहीं,
And आप थोड़ा विष्णु घूम रहे थे.
लाइक मैं कहा हूँ मेरी क्रीम ड्राइवर ने बस मुझे उतार दिया. मैं ही सोच रहा था, मुझे सब ने कहा था कराची में अकेले फोन निकाल के ना उतना.
Bro,
मैं बस
exactly.
एयरपोर्ट्स लगा के खड़ा हुआ हूँ उसके लिए.
You're just like in the middle of nowhere, past Creek Vista, fucking barren, and you're just like, हाँ मैं आ गया हूँ मेरे ख्याल में. मैंने बोला Manu, please don't do this. But I'm glad that you did.
Thanks for having me, dude.
Thank
and
you.
like, stay tuned. There's a lot of exciting stuff coming out very, 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 very soon.
Dude, we're here. We're here.
Just gonna give the Muharram break and then.
Lazmi hai. Manu, Kazi Akbar. Assalamu alaikum.